you know, you were investing and committing. It wasn't like just, it's not all just dumb luck.
Totally. Oh, no, no, for sure. I mean, I've worked very, very hard at music. I mean, I think amongst the chaos of my world when I was a teenager and then on after that, music was like the one thing that I had chosen to do completely on my own, that wasn't defined by anybody feeling like I needed to do it or I had a responsibility to do it. I was pretty secretive about it at first when I started playing. I started playing guitar as a kid. Because it felt really precious to me. My world felt so defined by other people's expectations and what was being put upon me. And music was kind of this island that I could live in and feel pretty comfortable and free. And then that just sort of grew into the whole landscape. But yeah, I mean, I practiced a lot. That was the other thing that was a really good fit for me about music, was like with basketball, I had learned all these skills about practicing and commitment and breaking. It's like, if you're like, I want to be a good basketball player, part of the skill set of doing that is being able to break it into smaller parts and then work on those smaller parts and assemble them into a game. You can't really be good at just one thing in basketball and expect for it to be successful. And then even to put together all these different parts, then to integrate them into actually playing a game, which is improvisational, that also takes a certain kind of mindset and a certain kind of clarity and work. And it's exactly the same model with music. It's like you can practice these different components of things that you have to put together to be able to play. And then you have to be able to actually do it in a setting where you're, with jazz specifically, where you're improvising and you're making stuff up using whatever tools you've been able to develop individually. And having a background in basketball was super helpful for assembling like a vocabulary and a relationship with jazz music once I was interested in it.
Yeah, and now when you look at your accomplishments, I mean, you're not only, you know, playing music, you're organizing, you know, you're organizing trios, right? Are you producing the music? I mean, you're collaborating on the rolling out of the social media. I mean, there's so many hats you seem to be, you know, wearing, and I wonder if that kind of gives you pause that you've become like the social musician for someone who is like a very quiet internal basketball player.
Right, totally. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. By like the career end of my musical world, it is just kind of come together step by step. You know, I tend to be someone that's like, if I identify some task has to be fulfilled and it's clearly me that's going to be the one to do it, then I'll do it. You know, I never like had a moment of like stepping back and thinking like, what's my plan of attack here? How am I going to do this or that? And then it's just more like things come up that seem obviously needing to be done. And then I do them. I prefer to just kind of focus on the musical end of things. But yeah, a lot comes along with that sort of has to be done. And I'm more than happy to do that. For quite a while, I booked my own tours. I've traveled a lot throughout the world and played. These days, with some of the bands that I play in, we have a booking agent that makes that end of things a lot easier. But I mean, when you're the kind of musician that I am, it's like there's a lot of aspects of it that are very blue collar, that are very like grindstone-y. You just kind of have to hammer stuff out and figure out how to get certain things done to work. And you could sort of make the argument that a lot of the work that you do is you're working to enable future work, that it's very process oriented. And depending on your relationship with that kind of stuff, like I know a lot of people that think it's really thankless and it's frustrating and annoying. And then other people that are super happy about what comes up and, you know, what they're able to do within whatever confines exist.